Mark
Unis.
Mark, what's up, bro?
Yeah. What's up, guys?
Welcome to the Grasshopper and the Bear.
Woo! Yeah, I love it.
What, you get some training in or what, man? What you running?
I just did some jump roping.
Nice.
Skipping.
Really? Oh man, one of my favorites.
Yeah, one of the essentials. You know, you got to do it.
Man, how long did you go for?
You know, it's pretty early right now, so I just went 3 rounds. Usually I like to go 6, but you know, we got the podcast going, so I couldn't keep the Grasshopper and the Bear waiting too long. You know, I had to get up a little earlier.
Hey, Mark, we appreciate you, man. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Right on.
So me and Kendrick go way back, Mark, just like you and I go way back. I know Kendrick for, I don't know, maybe top of my head, 15, 20 years. We met each other doing capoeira together and separately. I've been to his house, bro, in Detroit, Michigan. He's one of my Detroit brothers, bro, for a long time. Good friend, good dude. He trained capoeira and other martial arts. And so he's the man, bro. Just like you're the man, bro. You train with me for years, and we known each other forever too. So
awesome, yeah.
Why don't you break down how we know each other, Mark, a little bit, just to Kendrick, because he doesn't really totally know.
Sure. Yeah. I moved to San Francisco in 2011, and I had just a few months before that gotten started at a Fairtex that had opened in Newark, California.
Muay Thai gym.
And a Muay Thai gym. Yeah. And I had never done martial arts before. So I was doing it for a couple of months. And then I sporadically moved to San Francisco. And right around that time, that Fairtex in the city closed down for some reason. And I was super disappointed. And so then I was kind of stuck, like looking for a gym for I don't know, like several months. And I was working down on Pier 39. So I had to pass by K1 Fitness on Van Ness. I'd ride by on my bike all the time, and it was this little hole in the wall, kind of. You couldn't really see inside. I was like, what is that? It says Muay Thai on it. You know, I should check it out. And so I ended up going in there and joining the gym there, which was awesome. And that's how I met Javi. I started taking some of his classes, and I don't know, me and Javi just kind of connected, and we just started being friends. And I started coming around, like after several months, I started coming around, like helping him out with some of his students, and kind of getting to know him that way. And I went down to Pacifica a couple times when he was starting a new class down there, and sort of just was there as like not an instructor, but just as someone there to kind of maybe help show Javi's style, maybe. And like, you know, I knew some of the drills that Javi, I could hold some of the pads the way Javi likes to do. So I was just kind of there for like the new class, helping out with that. And then I think the biggest, coolest thing with Jav is that Jav introduced me to sparring. Like the first time I ever really sparred and really started martial arts, I think, you know, besides just hit, like anyone can go hit pads and stuff, but Jav introduced me to edge. And I remember that first time at 445 gym, I go in there to spar, first time ever. I meet Edge, and I spar this giant dude named Eric, who's like, I don't know, he's like fucking 5 times my size. And Javi's like, yeah, you know, you gotta go a few rounds with him. I'm like, what?
Oh, Eric, the boxer? The boxer?
Yeah, I remember him.
Oh, that's
He's huge.
Dude, so this guy, Eric, I sparred with him for a few years. He would just come in. I met him through another guy I knew, and he wanted to spar. And back then I was very, you know, competitive. You know, I still like to get my licks in just for fun. So he's like 6'7", 6'6", maybe 6'6".
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah,
big dude.
Yeah. No, all ripped, no muscle.
Yeah.
Fast as hell, fast like a track sprinter. And he had like 50 something amateur boxing fights, and he used to spar with Vladimir Klitschko before some of his fights, the Klitschko brothers, the former heavyweight boxing champions. So he sparred with them, world champions before. So he was really good. But we sparred him, bro. We spar get after it. Eric.
Yeah.
Wow.
By sparring we mean, I mean running around the rim and trying to get away from him, basically.
Dude sounded like he was a monster, man.
Mark, he was super cool.
Was he? That's a good thing. Gentle giant, then, huh?
He was. Yeah.
Kind of.
Mark, would you say that Muay Thai is your base? Was this your base, or like your first martial art that you started training, or had you trained anything prior to that?
I tried nothing before that. I was always lifting weights when I was younger, but I always knew in the back of my mind that I didn't know how to fight. I just knew that in my own mind, like deep down. I was like, because I was kind of jacked when I was like 21, 22, because all I was doing was lifting weights. But I knew I couldn't fight. And so when I was in a 24-hour fitness, and one of my old friends from high school who I used to play basketball with mentioned this gym, and I was like, oh, sick. And I went down there the next day. Like, it was no hesitation. He said that, and I was like, that's sick. I got to get in with it. I got to try that out. So I went there, and I never stopped training after that. And if I wouldn't have known about that Fairtex that had just opened up, I may have never gotten into any martial arts. So I'm super happy about that. Yeah, it was like, I don't know, destiny or luck or whatever you want to call it. But
good stuff. Good stuff. You met a good dude, and like you say, years later, you guys are good friends. And I mean, looking at you, look good, man. You still trying to hold it together. So
yeah.
Hey,
have you trained anything?
I approve.
Had you trained anything else other than Muay Thai afterwards, or is that still what you train like to this day? Did you venture off into anything else?
Boxing.
Nice.
Boxing.
Okay.
So like Muay Thai boxing. I haven't done any ground game really. I've taken a few jiu-jitsu classes and rolled a little bit with Javi, but never put really any significant time in that, which I should and I would like. But I love Muay Thai when well, let me get my Muay Thai out of the way first. Let me get my boxing out of the way first. And then I'm tired as fuck. I'm like, fuck that. I'll get something in tomorrow. And then, it never really happens.
Man. Javi, did you teach Mark what he knows in terms of rolling on the mat?
I showed him a few. We messed around on the mat a little bit, but it was just a few times I'd show him some legit submissions and kind of positions on the ground, defensive, offense, like mount, side control, guard. It was fun, man. We were around each other all the time. He was always at the gym and training. I was always there working. So I would just show him stuff, and I had someone to practice with, so it was fun. It was minimal.
Okay. Yeah. How long ago has this been as a total again, fellas, that you guys have known one another?
Known each
20 plus years? Yeah.
Well, let's see. I was there 2011. For sure met you in 2011, Hob. So it's been going on our 12th year.
Nice.
That's a long time.
It is, man. It really is.
Flew by.
Jeez.
Mark,
man.
Mark, of all the people, I mean, when I had this idea for this podcast, and we're just getting started, growing constantly. As you can see, we got tons of killer interviews lined up, man. I'm not fronting. Wait till you see what's coming in the coming weeks, Mark. I'll send you the links. We got some amazing guests, some personally, and some that you might have heard of. So, but when I came up with this idea, Mark, of all the people that I thought of that I want to do this with, I thought of one person. That's this guy who I thought it would totally work with and that I could trust. So
that is awesome.
Kendrick, Mark. Tell Kendrick there's a method to my madness.
There is. Just don't ask questions and just stick to what Javi says. That's what I just do it. Okay.
Well, that's right. I gotta evolve though, man. I gotta evolve all the time. That's like Sensei Kreese from Cobra Kai. That doesn't work in the new millennium.
Yeah, right. No questions.
Hey, I swear, Kendrick, I was not abusive to Mark one bit when I was Kendrick, Mark, you're like, what was it? No,
you said don't ask questions.
Just do it.
It's funny because Mark, I'm made of questions, man. I'm very inquisitive. I've always been that way, and it's I feel like on occasion it's been a curse, but definitely more of a blessing, because when you ask, theoretically you learn, but different personalities.
That's true.
You get that feel. You ask a question,
that's
so.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, you got to tell me. Javi said you got some stories, man, and just in terms of in the time that you guys have known one another, certain things of hilarity have jumped off. So you got to fill me in on some of this action, man.
Mark, where do you start? I mean, there's some he can tell that involve me, and some that don't.
Okay.
But we definitely don't want to tell the ones that involve me right now on camera. But there's one good one I want you to share, Mark. And then after this story, Mark, if you don't mind sharing it, I want to hear about what's going on with you in Hawaii. Okay, so you give us the lowdown. Me and Kendrick are dying to know. So tell Kendrick, please. And I was looking for the the screenshot I took of the complaint about this on my phone. I couldn't find it. But tell Kendrick what happened in the bar. So Mark's a bartender by trade.
Nice,
Doing it forever. Hospitality.
Okay.
He's the man. He makes great drinks. Even though I'm not drinking right now, he makes great drinks. He's got a story of a guy who came in and was very disrespectful. And then later on that night, he received karma kind of bit him in the butt. So go ahead, Mark.
Mark, before you go into that, please allow me, Javi, thank you very much for the compliments you gave me earlier, brother. I'm a grown man, but I still get shy and get not bashful, but there's a word for it. But it's very humbling to hear those things. So I don't remember saying thank you. I didn't want to be rude, so thank you for that, Javi.
Hey,
Mark, forgive me for cutting in like that, but I had to get that out.
All good, Kendrick. I was thinking that this story would come up. I wasn't sure what we were going to talk about in the podcast. I was sure that it was going to be, about martial arts, obviously. Right. But I was like, I know this story is going to come up, of course. So, yeah, I'm working.
Let's have
First of all, well, you got to get the setting right, and that is a dark Irish bar down an alley. And I was the main bartender there. It's called the Irish Bank. It's an awesome place. It's been there for years. It's owned by a couple Irish guys and one girl from New Zealand. And so I was working there for about 3 years. And I'll just get right to the story. I'm working a Thursday night. And I'm the guy who gets off early. And it's kind of a mellow Thursday night. It's not real busy. And this guy comes in and he orders a drink, and we've got a jukebox there. So he orders a drink. I think he pays with like a $10 bill, and he leaves the change on the bar, and he leaves, and he goes to the jukebox. And I don't know that he goes to the jukebox at the moment. I just know that because the whole story happened, and I'm reflecting on it. But at the moment, basically, he pays for his beer. He leaves a few bucks on the bar, and he leaves. And I like to keep the bar clean. You got to keep the bar clean if you want to, you got to be efficient if you want to make any money behind the bar. So keeping the bar clean is essential. So,
Did he bring the drink with him, or do you leave the drink on the bar too?
Yeah. He took his drink with him. So there's
the money.
Yeah, he left the money sitting on the open bar. That's a space where someone wants to sit. So of course, what do? You clean the bar off, you wipe it down, you take the tip, you throw it in the jar, handle the next customer, right? Well, there's no next customer. It's just a chill night, just chilling. This guy comes back a couple minutes later, and he's like, "Where's my $3?" And I'm like, I threw it in the tip jar. He's like, he starts kind of, I forget exactly what he said. He starts making a bit of an argument about it. So I just go back to the tip jar, grab the $3 out of the jar, and hand it back to him. And he's like, "No one's ever fucking done that to me." And I'm like, whoa.
Man.
Yeah.
As soon as you curse at me as a bartender, especially at a place like the Irish Bank where shit gets rowdy, and I don't have time to deal with rowdy people. I'm there to work. Hey, you guys have fun, but there's a certain few lines you just don't cross. You don't cause fights in the bar. And you went from
0 to 100 real quick, right?
Oh yeah. Like all of a sudden he's just super pissed that I took the $3 off the bar, and I already gave it back to him. So one of my lines is don't curse at the staff. If you curse at the staff, that tells me you've crossed a certain line. You can't be a proper gentleman anymore. So you're out of here. Have a great night. Come back tomorrow. It's all good. Just get the fuck out of here tonight. So he curses at me, and I'm like, "You're out of here." And we got this really cool bouncer named Jerome, good friend of mine, a martial artist in his own right. He's like a Greco wrestler, like total takedown, like ground and pound guy. And he's like kind of short and stocky. He's like a little rock, he's super strong. So I always feel super safe there. If I'm trying to kick someone out, all I have to be is like, "Yo, Jerome, this guy needs to leave. This guy's out of here." And Jerome, he just sort of looks intimidating. Like you're not gonna say anything to Jerome except okay. So before Jerome comes in, this guy takes his beer and he just tosses it on my face while I'm working behind the bar. And I'm like, I just start steaming. And then I look at him, and what really gets me is he doesn't toss the beer and kind of hurry out of the bar because he's just done something. He tosses the beer and
starts talking to a chick on his way out.
Yeah, he's like lackadaisically walking out, and I'm like, you son of a bitch. And I go around the bar, and my buddy, like, he's standing at the end of the bar, and he just puts his hand on my shoulder. He's like, don't do anything. And I'm like, and so I just like, I follow him out, and I watch him leave the alley, and I watch which way he goes. And as soon as I see him turn left, I'm like, all right, it's a slow night. I'm leaving early. I'm getting the fuck out of here right now. So I go around behind the bar, do the paperwork real quick, divide up the tips, and I'm out of there. I'm out of there within like 3 minutes. And I boom, go out the alley.
How responsible Mark is, Kendrick. He went, even though he wanted to go get the guy, he went back, cleaned up his station, did all the paperwork, signed out, checked out. Professional.
Yes.
He was pissed to all out perfection, but still took care of business. That's pretty good. That's impressive, man. Thinking under the fire.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did that, and I go out the bar. I go left, and I'm scoping. I'm just looking. Where is he? Where is he? I know he's got to be around here somewhere. And I look ahead, like there's like a block and then a street, and then he's on that next block. I see him sitting there. Some guy who looks just like him, dressed the same way, he's smoking a cigarette. I'm like, oh, that's him. I just get tunnel vision. I'm like, I think that's him. I think that's him. So I walk a little quicker, pick up my pace. And when I get to the street right there, I'll cross the street real quick. And I'm like, yeah, that's him. So I walk up to him. And just to make sure, when I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, you threw a beer in my face, right? And he's like, yeah. And then I just took off on him. I just right, left, bang, 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 bang. He's like, he's kind of getting up, kind of struggling. And then I fire on him several times. And then I'm like, all right, that's taken care of. And I leave. And before I know it, the guy hops on my back. And I'm in the middle of Grant Street or Bush Street at this point, because I'm like kind of trying to jog across the street a little, casually, as if I didn't.
Mercy. Always finish the job you started, bro.
Hey, as if you didn't just whoop on somebody, you just walking across the street. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, right away, I'm like, no, I'm cool. That wasn't me. That was someone else. Yeah, and that was the lesson I learned. Don't turn your back. Javi told me that the next day. Right. So he jumps on my back, and I'm like, ah. And we go to the ground, and I'm like elbowing. I'm like, oh my God, this is what we dream of. Like, we don't get to throw elbows in sparring. We're not ground and pounding, on top, like throwing your body weight behind your elbows. I'm like, this is the time. And I'm like, cool. Bang, like a couple elbows, and like, then I push him off, and I really run, because I'm like, fuck, there's cars coming. There's like cars there. And there was some guy on the sidewalk filming on his phone, and he was like, oh yeah, don't worry, man, I got this. Like talking to the dude. And I'm thinking, you fucking idiot, you're just a typical moron. You don't even know what happened. This guy's an asshole. If you knew, you'd be like, yeah, whoop his ass. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I took off. I ran, like, took a cut left, took a cut right, went down another alley, jumped into a restaurant where some of my boys were working, changed my shirt, had a couple drinks, and like went home later. And
it was a good night.
Yeah, it was a good night. But the next morning, my coworker calls me, and he's like, hey, this guy wrote a Yelp review about you. You better call Ronan and get ahead of it and just tell him what happened. I was like, oh, fuck.
Wow.
It was great advice from my friend Brian. Yeah.
Sure.
Great guy. And so he was super smart. Yep, he told me that. And that was another good lesson that I learned. Yeah, get ahead of things. So I called Ronan, told him what happened. And in the end, Ronan's a he's not old. He's like in, I don't know, late 40s, maybe he's 50. But he's from Ireland. He's kind of from old school Ireland. And he just said, look, man, you train. You should not be doing that. You need to be careful. And I was thinking maybe I would get fired, but I think just where these guys come from, they didn't even really, they were like, okay.
Right.
They didn't say nothing to me about it, really.
From Ireland, they probably done worse for less, bro.
Oh yeah.
And crazy.
Yeah. And the other owner, he's a bit older. He's definitely a bit older, and he's a real like hard coffin nail. This guy Peter, like he's a hard ass, and he just. Well, I apologized to him separately because he was kind of just around the bar, like fixing stuff. Ronan was one of the owners / managers there, and so Peter came in like the next week. I said, "Hey, Peter, I'm really sorry about what happened." He's like, "No, He's like, he grabbed my hand, he shook it as hard as he does, and he's like, listen, he said something. I forget what he said in his Irish accent. Sometimes you can barely understand him. He's like, yeah.
Mark,
And I was
you
like,
knew him in good job.
yeah. He was telling me, look, fine, accept your apology. That guy fucking deserved it, though. That's basically what he said. And I was like, all right.
It worked out.
Mark, the best part of the story is the actual Yelp review, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yelp review. I was looking for, I screenshot it. So basically, this is what happened, Kendrick. That guy came in, was a total dick, threw his beer in Mark's face while he's working, and walked out nonchalantly, like he just set down a pair of matches and walked out. But literally threw a beer in Mark's face. Mark pissed off, finished his work, clocked out, went to find the guy at his own time, approached the guy, freaking asked the guy, "You the one that threw a beer in my face?" And the guy again, I'm gonna call this guy Mr. Nonchalant, nonchalantly says, "Yeah," like he just, walked past you on accident, bumped into you. But no, he threw a beer in my man's face. Mark, gives him a beat down and then leaves the scene.
Right.
And then covers his bases with his bosses.
Right.
And the guy who got his ass whooped by Mark, who did, props, a little kudos to him. He did he did try to go for a round 2 by jumping on your back when you walked away.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say, but I mean, he wrote a Yelp review about his experience at the Irish Bank, Kendrick. A legit Yelp review. Mark shared it with us. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I couldn't find the screenshot on my phone. It's somewhere in there deep in my archives. I'm gonna paraphrase, Mark, okay?
Yeah.
It went something along this. I do remember some key lines in this man's Yelp review, okay? So he said, if you ever something like along the lines, if you ever go to the Irish Bank, I went there just to get a beer, and I thought the bartender was trying to steal money from me for his to get a quick tip, and then we had a argument about it, and then I ended up throwing a beer in his face. And then he said, "I know, very immature of me." He admitted. He said, "Very immature of me, I know." So then I leave to what, and the whole thing is written nonchalantly too, like he did, like it was like a regular Sunday. You know what I mean? So he went up the street to have a smoke, and that same bartender attacks me. And he says, "I try to defend myself, but he's vicious, throwing punch, kicks, knees, and elbows." He says, and then he says, "Moral of the story, if you go to the Irish Bank bar in San Francisco, make sure you have fighting skills like Muhammad Ali or Ronda Rousey."
Wow.
What he wrote. What he fucking wrote. Fucking hilarious.
Wait a minute.
Shout out Ronda Rousey and Muhammad, the great late Muhammad Ali.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't understand.
This San Francisco, bro. Weird shit happens, man.
Wait. He left. Wait. I don't know. It's kind of it's conflicting. Is he bipolar? I mean, he wrote a review, and he gave admitted to being wrong, gave Mark props for skillfully whooping him, and gave people that come in a heads up, listen, know what you're getting into before you come in there. So it's kind of like,
and he didn't even say and I remember in the Yelp review, because I read it so many times, I was laughing my ass off.
Sure.
And I totally believe it coming from Mark of all people. So the Yelp review, he said that the bartender from earlier that night, who I threw the beer on, came up to me while I was having a cigarette, and he asked me, "Are you the one that threw a beer in my face?" And I told him, "Yes, it was me." Like, he didn't say, like, in the review, he didn't say, "Yeah, I felt bad about it, I apologize." Right. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, it was me." And then he commenced to attack me, and he's vicious, punches, kicks, knees, and elbows.
Yeah.
I tried to defend myself, but I couldn't. And
that's funny.
It's so funny. He said he's vicious. What the fuck, Kendrick?
Hey, man, I'm tripping on this one because it's kind of a good review. You know what I'm saying? He's expressing himself, but it has something good about it. So he learned his lesson.
Yeah, it was kind of a good. It was my best. It was my best worst review.
Okay. How long, Mark? How long have you been bartending, man? I mean,
I've been bartending.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been bartending for about 9 years.
Okay. What now is that? Would you say that that's a passion? Because when you just talking about it, kind of stood out. Just wanted to ask about it.
Yeah, I like my job. I wouldn't say it's a passion, though. To be honest, I make good money, and I'm good at it.
Okay.
It's not my passion. It's not my passion, no. But I like it. I do enjoy it.
Sure. What would you say is passion?
my passion, honestly, like my only passion left in life is martial arts, Muay Thai,
Okay.
martial arts, and
Okay.
everything that brings into my life. You
Good
know,
passion to
and
have.
yeah, I'm not a professional fighter or anything, but I love
Mhm.
that, and I don't feel myself unless I'm in some kind of shape, doing some kind of training. And you know, if I
Nice.
miss a couple weeks training, I feel like shit. You know, I don't.
Okay.
I like to train every day, do something to keep in shape, and usually do something that's around martial arts. Even my like weight routine it's not heavy
Sure.
weights, it's super light weights, everything to get me faster, get my cardio
Nice.
going, get my muscle endurance higher.
Okay.
You know, not necessarily like big brute strength, you know.
Sure.
So
And
everything I do for that is around Muay Thai and boxing.
okay, and it's cool that you mentioned that in terms of you took it back to the weights, because I was going to ask you if you still weight trained as well. So you were saying the way that you weight train in conjunction with your Muay Thai training, you do it in a way where it complements what you're doing. So I imagine you probably still stretch on a consistent basis, you know.
Yep.
And like you said, did you say? I'm sorry, forgive me if I missed it, but did you say that your repetitions are kind of high as well with the weight being lighter?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many
Yeah.
times a week do you weight train, and how many times a week do you train Muay Thai?
About half and half, so about 3 to 4 days each.
Nice.
Some weeks I'm working out 7 days a week.
Okay.
And you know, the 6th and 7th day might be just like an easy jog or just some shadow boxing or something, but it's still something. But I'd say I have my best workouts like 3 to 4 days a week. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Hobby, when you guys train together, how often were you guys training together?
It was once a week steady, and then we were always around each other. So because he's always in the gym working out, so we would work out, you know, on the clock for a session or off the clock, and we just always supported each other since we became friends. Like I said before, I told you before Mark came on, this guy moved me out of my house, me and Enzo,
Twice.
Nia's stuff and my stuff, which is a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Moving. Hey man, moving sucks. So that's
moving sucks.
It does, man. I think in my experience, it sucks, period, but it sucks more when you're moving, helping someone move that's not prepared. You know?
That'd be me. That'd be me.
I mean, but you know what? I'm not listening.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I mean, sometimes things happen, man. We can't always, we try our best to control circumstances, but we can't always control them. Sometimes things happen. I'm pretty confident if you would have had the ability somehow to set it up to where it would have been orchestrated and comfortable, you would have, but you know, it may not have been this time, but you know, but the thing about it too, Javi, is you a good dude. So, and Mark is a good dude. So he didn't mind helping. We don't mind helping each other out when we get in the crunch, you know what I'm saying? So it worked out.
Oh, it was all good, man. You know.
So there were a couple Pacificos there at the end of one of the moves, and so that, you know, that was fine.
Yeah, I think I took them here after one of them, but yeah, dude, Mark's my brother, just like you, Kendrick.
Nice,
so, man,
nice.
It's to be said. Mark, tell us. Oh, real quick, tell Kendrick what's the capoeira kick I taught you. You got the kicks for a while. What was the capoeira kick I taught you? Describe it.
I don't know what it was called, but it's the one you take the step, then you take the other step, and then you use that energy to throw the kick around. You bend down, you kind of go down with your leg. I don't know. They're so hard, but they're so cool. That's what I remember about it. And I do throw those into my shadow boxing.
Nice.
I don't know what is it called, Hav? It's when you do the step, it's like you get the rhythm going, and then you throw the capoeira kick.
Compasso? Melo de Compasso?
I think it's Melo de Compasso. Yeah.
Okay.
Spinning kick with the hands on the ground. Yeah, I think that's
okay.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
That's Mark, what have you been doing, man? For the pandemic, nothing's really changed for me and Kendrick. Before the pandemic, he was in Michigan. I was in San Francisco. I'm still in San Francisco after the pandemic's over or quasi over. He's still in Michigan. Nothing's really changed for us. What has changed for you? You're in San Francisco for a long time. Where are you now? How did that happen? What are you doing, bro?
Bro, I'm on Maui. I'm on beautiful Maui. And if you can see in the background, I'm just right across the street from my house.
Damn.
And I go snorkeling out there, go swimming out there.
No wonder you had to come back, bro.
Right. Good for you. Jeez.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Maui.
Yeah, sounds good.
Shoot. I don't know if you know this, Hav, but I may or may not have told you I met this girl right before COVID happened, and I have a girlfriend, a normal girlfriend.
Wow.
Like a normal guy.
Damn, bro. It's like you
Yeah.
graduated, bro. It's like you graduated
I know.
from freaking college.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congrats, bro.
I
Good
know,
stuff.
right?
Damn.
I gotta, Mark, I gotta ask, does she train martial arts? Is she into fitness at all?
Yeah, she likes her little fitness videos and stuff. She does
Okay.
like little I
Mark.
tried to teach her how to kick, but she hurt her finger and we never did it again.
Okay. Well,
Mark,
that'll
you
work. Hey.
Mark, you got to kiss about 10,000 frogettes till you find your princess, huh?
I know. I've kissed some frogettes.
Did you say frogette?
I kissed some double frogettes.
I think we all have, fellas.
True that, Ken.
Oh, man. Mark, I wanted to ask you earlier. What kind of nutrition do you follow in terms of to complement how you live? Are you keto, low carb, vegan, vegetarian, carnivore? What do you do?
Yeah, I don't follow anything too particularly because I like to eat food.
Sure.
I'm a little bit of a foodie. I'm in the restaurant industry, so
Nice. Sure.
I do love to eat food. But
Okay.
I have this great balance with this great girl that I met. She likes to be vegetarian.
Okay.
And so she's always cooking some veggie stew or some veggie
Nice.
stir fry.
Okay.
And her diet has sort of merged into mine. And
Sure.
I'm totally cool with that because in my mind, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I want to eat vegetarian and, improve my diet and all this. But then I'm like, man, this fried chicken looks hella good. I'm about to eat that right now. And, or whatever it is, mac and cheese, I don't know, mashed potatoes with a whole bunch of butter on them. I'm like, I want that. So it's good to have this little balance at home where there's never really any butter in the house or cookies or, any of the good stuff. It's all gone. So I got some bell peppers to eat and stuff. So I do. I eat a lot of veg.
How did that happen?
How did it happen?
Yeah. Not to be on a serious note. I've always known you to be, definitely open to the idea of a relationship, but you kind of gave the vibe of a Rolling Stone. Wherever you lay your hat, that's your home. And nothing wrong with that, bro. But
I love that. I love that life. And I was cool with all that.
So how'd this come about? This transition, this positive change in your life?
We met on Bumble, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. And the story is not to say that, but I couldn't lie to my boy Hav. I'll tell you straight up. We met on Bumble. The story we always tell people though is that we met at the cafe in North Beach, which is where we decided to meet. But we talked about that on Bumble.
Okay.
The truth is always more interesting and fun, bro.
Yeah. We, we met on Bumble. She's a really great girl. We hit it off. She wasn't like any of the other girls I met. Basically a royal. I shouldn't have said that. You can edit that bit out, right?
Where is that from?
Sorry. Some
that?
movie. I don't know. I get all my shit from movies. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Not all women are cunts.
First time ever. That being said, on Grasshopper and the Bear. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead. Continue.
Right.
And anyway, she just was a great girl. Everything went well with us, and then the pandemic happened, and that was only a few weeks after we met, and so we still were hanging out, but of course you couldn't go anywhere, so we were hanging out at each other's apartments. Well, we were hanging out at her apartment because hers was way nicer. So I'd always just go over there.
Mark, can I just interrupt for 2 seconds? I have to do this before you continue the story. It's really important. The Grasshopper and the Bear in this episode, all views expressed in this episode are not totally in accordance with our views. So continue.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right.
Nice disclaimer.
Yeah, good one. Okay, where was I at? Oh yeah, so I'm staying like at her place all the time, and we're just hitting it off. She's working online. I'm going out and meeting Jack, I'm meeting David out on my bike and like having a couple drinks and not really knowing what to do with myself. And so we're just basically spending a whole bunch of time together, and the pandemic's just carrying on, and it's a few months, and she kind of has this crazy idea of going off to Hawaii for a few months while this whole thing blows over. And I'm like, I don't have a job, girl. Like, I'm about to collect some unemployment and you want me to take a Hawaiian vacation? No way, you're crazy, and yeah, I talk about it with my sister a little bit, and, you know, some weeks go by and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not working, let's go. And you know, like I said, she was a great girl, she wasn't some jerk, and I thought, hey, if worse comes to worse, I could just come back, doesn't matter. And so we came out here to Maui, and it's just been the same ever since. Unbelievably, we've gotten along, and we fucking live together. I mean, Kendrick, I've really never had a girlfriend. And I realize now, after having a girlfriend, that you should never say that to other girls, because it's kind of like saying you're a virgin if you say you've never had a girlfriend before. And that's a bit embarrassing, you know?
Okay. I mean, hey, at least she was getting honesty out of you, so that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I know, but you know, I've gone on dates with so many girls. Like, when's your last relationship? I'm like, nah, you know, I never really had a girlfriend. And now I realize, big mistake. I should have been like, yeah, I've had a girlfriend for the last 5 years. You know, just to make it look like I've got some experience. You know?
Right. Hey, man. Well, I know, Mark. I noticed that you said when you're out on dates. So even though you told multiple women that you didn't have a girlfriend, evidently it didn't interfere with you going out and having a good time. So
yeah, but they wouldn't call me back too often though, Kendrick. And so, you know, they were all new dates. Every date was the first date.
Oh man. Yeah, I reckon that does make a difference. Wow.
But yeah.
Lesson learned.
So yeah, here I am on Maui. Haven't looked back, and found a cool Muay Thai gym out here. We started the sparring class a few weeks ago, and so that's helped me stay in shape. I mean, I run along here just right on the coast here, and run my 3 miles a day, which Javi always advised me to do when I was preparing for my fights. 3 to 5 miles a day, Mark. 3 to 5 miles a day, and that always stuck in my mind. Whenever I'm thinking of my best training, I hear Jav's voice echoing right here. 3 to 5 miles a day, Mark. 3 to 5 miles a day. I'm like, yep. And
what
it's
kind
true
of
because. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you, what kind of a pace are you when you run? What kind of a pace? What are you? 10-minute mile, 12-minute, 7, 8? How are you doing it?
It's about 9 to 10 minute mile. Sometimes on my best days, I'll be somewhere in the 8:40 range. But you know, I'm 36 too, Kendrick, and I'm not putting any excuses. But you get a little bit slower. You know, when I was 26, I was bombing these miles. I was running 7-minute miles, no problem, you know, and I was like, But now, you know, now I don't really care about like looking super fast in front of people or like the fastest jogger on the fucking sidewalk, you know, I don't care. I'm like running with the fat girl. I'm like, yeah, girl, let's get it.
Hey man, you moving.
We running slow. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah,
that's
just make sure I'm out there doing it. You know.
Yep, most important. Yeah. Javi, what's one of the first things you told me when I was telling you about getting back into my my training or my jump rope regimen? What was that you said about consistency?
I don't remember. What did I say? I forget. What was it? Just
that, man. Just be consistent, you know. And that's listening to Mark talk. You know, he's been consistent, man. He was saying he may not run as fast because he's a little older now, but even still, he's been consistent for a number of years with his weight training and that. And then when he got off into the Muay Thai, he's been consistent with the weight training combined with the Muay Thai. I mean, we can look at him in the Zoom call and tell him tell that he has his act together in terms of, you know, how he look. And that's a good thing. I mean, shoot, he opened up saying, yeah, you know, I just got done jumping rope for 45 minutes straight, you know what I'm saying? So you're doing it, man. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, thanks for sharing that.
How are you guys living, Mark? Where do you guys live? How does it work? How does it all work? How'd you get a job? How can you afford to live in Hawaii?
Well, I had the unemployment coming in for a bit, of course. So, you know, that was all right. We found a cheap place here, super close to the water for $1,500 a month, right in Kihei, just beautiful, right by Charlie Young Beach here. I mean, I'm looking up right now. It's fucking beautiful. It's awesome.
Wow. What kind of temperature you got? What was the temp?
Right now, it's probably 72 or something like that. It's nice, no wind. The sun's coming up over Mount Haleakala. Oh man, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And every second of the day is beautiful here on Maui. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
So
wow. Nice. Javi, what you guys got for temps out there?
Out here right now, temps?
Yeah.
Oof, I think it's like 40 maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, I got Michigan weather in California.
Yeah,
Shoot.
right now it's cold. Yeah, right now it's kind of cold. 40, 50 tops, 50 tops maybe.
Mark
Yeah.
living it up there. Mark got them 72 temperatures.
I can't
You know?
every day. It's like cold. It's like 72's cold.
Damn.
I wish. Man.
I need
Mark,
Ay,
did you
ay, ay.
watch Mark, I've been trying to get my man Kendrick to become a full-time UFC, part-time, full-time UFC fan.
yeah.
Because you know, you know me, Mark. Since you've done me, all I do is watch video all day long, all night long.
Yeah.
I'm always showing you videos, sending you videos. I do the same with Kendrick, you know, because that's part of my work and my education,
Sure.
is just watching combat sports on my phone and on my
Mhm.
TV. Inspires me, gives me motivation. Keeps me up to date on everything that's going on in combat sports, training, health, everything, bro. You know the drill. So I'm
Yeah.
sharing that with my man Kendricks, and he watched the UFC countdown last night. What was your take on the UFC countdown for the fights that happened last night, Kendrick?
Usman and Masvidal were both talking a lot of junk. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, in their own rights, had something to prove. But we seen that. I seen the highlight of the knockout that Usman gave him. So he he came in
from the heavens, bro. Boom.
put him to sleep. And
Yeah.
It's always funny when one person talks a lot of crap and then gets knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of, they were both talking crap. I feel like Masvidal, how do you pronounce the last name? Is it Masvidal?
Masvidal.
Thank you. I feel like he might have talked a little bit more. I mean, and ultimately he went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So
He went to sleep, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was surprised with oh man. Was it I can't pronounce her name. Having a hard time pronouncing her name.
Rose
Zhang Weili
versus
Zhang Weili. Yep,
What'd
Zhang
you think of
Weili. I was surprised that she lost, you know.
Yeah.
But
left high kick.
what
One of my favorites.
I would doubt that.
God.
Would you say that was an upset as a whole, that she got that victory?
No, because my picks, you guys, was, and
Okay.
I was asked my picks on Clubhouse in a chat room the other day, and I got them all right except for, bless you, I think I got so I said Valentina Shevchenko wins against Andrade via KO or submission, and that I got that one right. She won by TKO, and then I said Rose Namajunas is going to be a tough fight, but she's going to win by KO or submission, and I got that right, KO.
God.
Then I called Usman winning by decision, but he won by knockout. So
yeah.
I wouldn't say Rose Namajunas. I think she might have. I don't think it was an upset at all. I think it's an upset that she won so quickly.
Okay.
Such a fast knockout. That's unheard of against someone like Zhang Weili. You
know? Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot. I thought Zhang was gonna take it. I thought.
Yeah. So did I.
Thought because she looked so powerful, especially in her last fight with Joanna. My goodness. And Rose, she came up with that left kick. Oh my God, it's perfectly placed. It didn't even look hard. Oh my God.
I would have picked Zhang Weili against anyone to win except Rose, because I know Rose
really
trained. Yeah, she trains with Trevor Whitman, who I met in person in Vegas.
Okay.
I mean, he's a phenomenal striking and just fight coach. And I know her being under his tutelage, that's in her corner. I know Usman, who's just been training with Trevor Whitman for the past year, has shown remarkable improvements. And if you can make Usman, who's already the elite of the elite, improve in his power and striking and mentality, I mean, I was like, there's something there. So I said, yeah,
makes sense.
She's gonna win, man. Even though I
noticed
Zhang a lot.
I was amazed at how many of these people they had hands, man. You know, just and watching the countdown and them showing the highlights. Just, I mean, man, that really caught my attention. You know, and then for Usman to win with that knockout the way that he did, you know, that, I mean, for whatever reason, when I see people using their hands and striking effectively, you know, that really catches my attention. So I thought that was pretty cool. Of course.
Speaking of striking,
you know?
I was DMing back and forth with Jairo yesterday and Escobar, and so one of the things we talked about was that he's training fighters from El Nino, from Gilbert Melendez's gym, which includes Carrie Melendez, Gilbert's wife, who's been winning in Bellator by knockout.
Sure.
She's just coming off an injury, so she's slowly getting back into it. He's training Leslie Smith in boxing for her fight against Cyborg in Bellator. And Iro's also training he worked with Matt Baker the other day. He's a Glory kickboxing fighter.
Sure.
So he's just and then he was telling me that he's gonna be working with Nate and Nick Diaz shortly too in Lodi and Stockton. Gilbert Melendez is gonna set that up for him because he's like a full-time or part-time coach at Team Gilbert Melendez gym. So yeah, so that we were DMing about that, and then he was saying, hey man, I'm kind of nervous to train Nate Diaz, and I he was just joking, right? And I said, nah man, I've trained with him. He's hella cool. He's so humble and chill and laid back and nice, bro. The opposite what you see on the cameras. So I've trained with him, sparred with him. He's as cool and nice and chill as they come, bro. You wouldn't think he is. So he's like, so Hyro was like, dude, I'm hella excited. That's dope. I was like, yeah, man, it's gonna be sick, coach. I said, send me the videos or send me the links, man, or any clips. Bro.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
Boxing, the sweet science is getting more and more integrated into MMA training.
As it should. I mean, hey. Mark, what was your who were your picks for last night's fight? Who did you have? Who out of the three?
It was Valentina for sure. Love Valentina. Okay. It was Zhang Weili, and it was I wanted Masvidal to win.
Did you?
I wanted Masvidal. Yeah, I don't know. He's cool.
Okay, that's what I mean. Hey, you like who you like, yeah.
Hey, I like Kamaru too. You know, I don't care. These guys I'm not on these guys' teams. Whatever.
Right.
Kamaru's sick. Yeah. Kamaru's sick. He's so strong. He's just a beast. And he went that, the left hook, kind of to lead him into that right hand, and just fundamentals, just bang, just. I couldn't believe Masvidal went to sleep though. He just went boo. He was like on a cloud, like in a second. I was like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So,
yeah,
I got my pick, except for Valentina. My picks were wrong.
Well, I mean, but you like who you like, ultimately at the end of the day, is we entertain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're entertained, and they, the name of the game. I'm sure there'll be rematches and more junk talk,
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, real quick, what's the t-shirt size of you and your lady, man?
She's I'd say she might be we might both be medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you some t-shirts, bro. I'm working on this project, Fight Club Philippines. I'll fill you in more about it later. I've been telling Kendrick all about it, and I got some things cooking, Mark. A bunch of big things, bro.
Okay.
Fight Club Philippines. I think I saw that recently on Instagram. Like some gloves. Is that right? Or
I'm working with them, bro. Yeah.
Dude, awesome. Love it.
2 mediums. Yeah, I'll send you some t-shirts. I got your size, right, Kendrick?
Yep. Yeah, Mark, Javi is top notch, man. He always up to something,
He is. Oh yeah.
You
gotta stay on your toes.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you ever since you moved to Hawaii, have you come back to visit at all, or have you stayed where you are?
I've stayed here so far.
Okay.
There's the trouble with having to quarantine when we come back, and or get the vaccination, which I'm not for or against it, but I'm kind of like right now I'm just kind of cool without it. See what happens.
No doubt.
So,
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like to come back and visit my friends and visit my family and get a little pad work in with Javi. He's always making me jealous by sending all the videos to the Muay Thai sparring chat that we have going. And so there's all links from Javi's training every day. I was like, man, because I go to the gym out here, but hitting pads in the park with Javi and some of the old guys like his client Mark. I love that guy, man. He's been training with Javi super consistently for a long time. And we've trained together. So seeing him on the pads, Mark's like, oh, Mark, yeah. Javi, you guys getting it? I love it.
Yeah, man.
Mark's like 57 or 58. He's 58, bro.
Dude, he's in great shape.
Dude, he just rocked me with the left hook when we were sparring. I'm not just saying that, he rocked me. No, he really rocked me with the left hook, bro. And it actually made me sharper for my sparring next week with Cole. It made me more alert. I'm like, dude, I gotta keep my guard up, bro. And I'm the coach, so we learn from each other, bro. You make people around you better, and they make you better, right, Kendrick?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, most definitely. Mark, what would you say? Of course, with the exception of Javi being where that being the highlight of training here, what would you say is some differences that you observe training in the Muay Thai gym where you are in Hawaii as opposed to training in California?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'd say that in the classes here, because I take the classes here, and I'd say there's a super technical breakdown with Coach Crew Brian, great guy here. Shout out Horizon Muay Thai.
Nice.
He's a great dude. He likes to break it down like to the bone, like just to the smallest movement. And so I'd say that's been a really great thing to add from everything I've learned from Javi and Edge and all the guys out there that I've sparred with. The super breakdown. It's been really great.
That's a good thing. Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think that do you have the desire or the slight curiosity, because of the fact that you've trained for a number of years, because of the fact that working in hospitality and bartending, you have a way with people? Have you ever thought about trying to start something?
Like how do you mean? Like my own training?
Yep. Something along those lines. If not a facility, just you doing it. Had you ever considered such a thing?
Yeah, I have. The thing is that I feel like I'm such a student in this game that I don't want to go. And I've taught some boot camp classes before. And
at K1 and Muay Thai too.
Yeah, I did some, but I always just kind of considered myself, look, I'm a student of the game. Don't come into the class thinking that you're getting some professional dude who knows everything, or that I think I'm some professional dude who knows everything. Because sometimes you walk into a boxing gym or like a fitness place, like, I don't know, Orange Theory or something. You got some dorky guy, and everyone wants to be like, how many fights do you have? And, I don't know. They want to know your experience, and they want to make sure they're learning from someone who's a pro, which is totally understandable. So when I think of really doing my own thing, I think I'm not ready to do that because I don't have the experience yet. I can't say that I know everything, but I am confident in like helping teach some super basic fundamentals, like how to throw a right kick if you don't know how to throw it at all. I can get you there, but I'm not going to be able to break down and maybe build you up as a proper fighter, because I'm learning that myself now. Like even though I've been training for a long time, I'm like, I always consider myself, I'm like, no, I'm the worst. I got so much to learn. Like I can't go into this gym and be like, yeah, let me teach you guys how to fight. No, I'm learning how to fight. I just feel like I need to be like, have more gray hairs and like a much longer beard before I can, tell anyone how to really fight, so I do teach a kids class here at Horizon Muay Thai. I help out with the kids class. And that's really good for me. I have to break it down really hard to the kids, and that helps me learn. I learn from the kids, I have to show them what I know perfectly. And so boom, sometimes I have to explain it a different way to a different kid, and every time I do it, I'm learning at like the smallest level, which it helps me. So I love it. Yeah,
no doubt. Sounds good for you,
Mark.
I was gonna say,
sorry, go ahead, Kendrick, finish up.
Oh no, please. No, you good.
No, you got it. No, I interrupted you, my bad.
No, okay. No, I was just gonna say, Mark, don't sleep on your skill. 12 years is 12 years. You know what I mean? That's 12 years of doing something on a consistent basis versus somebody that's never done it before. I mean, I love the humility, and I hear what you're saying in terms of you couldn't necessarily teach somebody how to fight, but on the same token, there are things that you have to offer that you could teach. And and the reason why I guess I'm taking it here, even talking about it the way that I am, is because you spoke of it in terms of passion. And hobby is just an amazing example of being able to do something that's a passion or something that you love on a consistent basis, and to take it to a level to where you can actually provide for yourself and provide for your family. Not everybody has, or not everybody chooses to take it that far, but he has. And again, that's a really good example of it. A great example for me, and for other people that know him, and for people that don't know him, to just see that example happen. But even if you were to do it, to some degree, like you said, you do it with the children now, but if you were to do it at another level, I mean, man, I think it's something to think about. Just my opinion.
For sure, for sure. I do think about it, and I do think
agree.
about having my own gym one day and everything. But I need to keep studying. Basically, I need to keep studying, keep training, keep learning, so that later, when the time comes, I'll be ready for it. And yeah, I imagine every time I look at a new apartment or something, I'm like, "Where's space for the bag at?" Oh, yeah, I could put it right there, or like I could put some mats down right over there. I don't need a couch. So every place is a gym, you know. Every place, every open space I see is a potential gym.
Sure. Yeah.
Mark,
Good stuff.
Mark, I know you got to go. We talked earlier. You told me about you got some other commitments today, man. I want to thank you, bro, for coming on today.
Absolutely.
Talking. Where can people get a hold of you, bro? On Instagram or social media?
Yeah. I'm on social media. I'm mostly on my Instagram. That's at Cali Athletics. CALI Athletics. I should probably change it to something to do with Maui. Nah, I'm Cali originally, though.
For life.
Yeah, Cali Athletics on Instagram. Yeah, that's
give us your Mark, before you go. Give the Grasshopper and the Bear your words of wisdom for the day or the week or the year. What's your words of wisdom? Share with us, man.
I'd say always go with your heart. If you're thinking about something too much and you don't know what to do, go with your heart, because you won't regret it. Even if it turns out to be a mistake, you could look back and be like, I felt that in my heart and I did it. Okay. That's my thing.
I can dig it.
That's my
Sounds
thing.
Good, Mark. Sounds good. It's been a pleasure meeting and talking with you, my man. Thank you for your time.
Kendrick, it's great to meet you, because you're a boy of hobbies. If you're a boy of hobbies, you're a boy of mine. Hobbies taught me
and likewise. Hey, and likewise.
I trust him with my heart. So
yeah, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Good to meet you, man.
Dude. Good to meet you too. Thank you.
Talk soon.
Appreciate that.
See you, Mark.
Yes, indeed.
Have a good day, Mark.
Good to talk to you, brother. Talk soon, all right?
Talk soon, man. Have you on again.